All right, good evening, everyone. I'm here with political 13-year-old. Say hello.
Hello.
So,
Hi.
um,
Hey y'all.
are you actually 13 then? If you mind me asking.
No, I'm 24. You see, okay. So this is what Virginia for Bernie accused me for. Well, first he said that one of my friends on the community, Andy, who's known as the deplorable Finnish bastard, um, he accused him of working with the Kremlin, and that he's actually not, the Andy that we all know and love. He's actually, a Russian spy. But and he accused me of that too, and that I'm actually not 13, and I work with some sort of government entity. I don't really know at this point. I've been accused of so many things, but I mean, people also tell me, "Hey, Adrian, you're really smart for your age. I really like what you got to say. Just don't tell people your age because, and it does happen where people will automatically assume just because of your age, you know nothing about what you're talking about. You spit out everything that your parents tell you, and that you're just doing this as a gimmick or to, embrace your ego or whatever.
Yeah.
I honestly hate that. And it's not true. Both of my parents are Democrats, or they were at one point, at least. I don't know what they are now, but they were at one point. Um, I never listen. I barely ever listen to the news. The only news that I listen to is the Tucker Carlson show and Hannity, but that's only entertainment. That's only entertainment for me. I don't actually use it as a source of info. Um, and with everything else, like my ego, I've been called so many things on the internet from both sides too. Like it's incredible what people will say when they don't like your opinion. And they'll make it a point that they make it personal, like they know you, and that's what they do. And so whenever people ask me what age I am, I always say I'm 28, or any number that pops in my mind, because it doesn't matter what your intelligence level is, what your intellect is like. If you are a certain age, you don't know what you're talking about, and that's what these people are branding, and I think that that's absurd.
Yeah. But
And you have to really be a genius in order to act. You have to be a genius in order for people to take you seriously. But go ahead.
yeah. So because of your age, would you support a voting age? You know,
No, absolutely
yeah.
not.
Would you? No.
Absolutely not. No. You see, I may be, smart for my age, but I know nothing. I am a child that will admit that. Every kid doesn't know how the world works. That's just because intelligence or wisdom comes from experience. And kids, I may have experienced a lot, but I haven't experienced nearly as much as a person who is 18. Even an 18-year-old doesn't know anything. Even kids in college really don't know how the world works yet. So I would not support a voting age. We're talking about like millions of people in our country that know nothing. I don't even know. I don't even trust myself to vote for Pete's sake. So no, I wouldn't support a voting age at that's any lower than 18.
All right. So how did you actually get into this then? How did you make your account
Well,
and whatnot?
well, it started with my account. I've always wanted to be a podcaster, and I went on the Rise and Resist podcast, or the Resistance podcast, and they asked me about that. And I told them that it always started with me watching Steven Crowder with my older brother. Steven Crowder, he's literally his biggest fan. I watch everything that he's done. I love him, and he is a big inspiration to me. I and also Ben Shapiro. It started with Steven Crowder, and then Ben Shapiro, and then Milo, and then all these different people that trickled down into this political pundit world. And I honestly love them, and I love watching everything that they do. And I always said, why can't I do something like this? And it's because of my age, or it's I'm a teenager. That's why I can't do it. But I really ask myself, why? I read a lot of book. I read a lot of this. I make my own theories. I make my own economic equations. Why can't I do this? And I really asked that question, and I said, I can do this. So it all started with me buying this right here, this AT2020, a couple of other gear, and I just used the camera on my Mac, and I made the first YouTube video on my channel, and it was terrible. It was just me rambling, but it really is a part of who I am as a podcaster and as an entertainer. So if you do go on the political 13-year-old show, and you do scroll all the way down, I only have like 33 episodes maybe. You may wanna hold off on the first like 10 episodes, but it does get better as it goes along. I went from just talking to myself to talking big Instagram names to talking to the inventor of email. So that's probably one of the coolest achievements of my show, and I'm starting up my tour, and it's only going to get bigger. And I want to thank everyone to my that has supported me. I think well, people are going to get mad because I say this, but I'm going to thank my fans. Okay, yes, it's possible to have fans even if you have only 2,000 followers. There's no other name for them. You call them fans. Okay, what do I call them? People who like me. That's called a fan. People who like my entertainment. That's called a fan. So I'm going to call them fans. I want to thank my fans. I want to thank my family. I want to thank my grandma. In like the top 3 best supporters. She has supported me through everything. She let me work on her house so I could raise money for this. She has, helped me out. She has, been so supportive, and I have to thank her so much. I also have to thank the people in my family who didn't really support me, like who told me that this wasn't a good idea for my safety, because I did learn a lot from this community that this is all, as much as it is fun and as much of it as it is an experience, it's a big liability to danger, and it's really dangerous for a 13-year-old to come out and talk about his views on the internet. I have received death threats. I mean, some of them I don't take seriously, but I have. And as a 13-year-old who is supposed to, to these people, at least be a genius, okay? At least be a genius. I'm supposed to not take everything seriously. And I'm supposed to, kind of, and not respond in any way that can be perceived as, it's kind of like, Jackie Robinson. When he received hate, he couldn't fight back. He had to turn the other way, and for me, I have to. It's the same thing, because if I fight back, no one's going to take me seriously. No one. So I have to. So I have to turn the other cheek. And is it hard? Yeah. Does it get to me sometimes? Yeah. But is it worth it? Of course. And I'm going to keep on doing this. So, yeah. So I have to thank all my, as much as my supporters, I have to thank all my haters, because as much as they make me grow as an entertainer, and I grew as much as a human. So thank you.
So just touching on the death threat thing quickly, have you actually had any credible death threats,
Yeah, I do. You can look on one of my comments. It actually, people started posting about it. A person said that they hope that I got fucking shot and killed in Miami, as on the first part of my tour. So yeah. I've also received DMs. Sooner or later, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be receiving fatwas. Like Steven Crowder literally had to buy a firearm because he received because he has a fatwa on his head for drawing the Muhammad prophet. So it's a scary world we live in, and even to teenagers who are innocent, people are crazy. So yeah, I do have credible death threats, and some of them are from a long time ago. In my DMs, I get like 2 to 3 DMs a day. So I don't know how far it is. I'll try looking for it. If you actually really care that bad, I'll try looking for it. But yeah, I do have credible death threats, and it sucks because but it sucks as much as it is flattering because people actually care about how much you say because that's when you know you're getting to them. Because I love it as much as I hate it. I hate it that someone wants me to die, but I love it because I know that what I'm doing is working. If
Yeah,
no one is going to, if no one wants you to die, if no one wants you to freaking be tortured with mutilated, you you aren't doing well. You
yeah,
aren't pissing these people off enough. And I hate that you have to piss people off in order to be right. You and that's for both sides as well. If you aren't pissing someone off, you aren't getting a message to them. So I'm getting the message to them, and hopefully I do on my tour, which starts tomorrow, July 11th.
yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a very dangerous business. There's plenty of famous people or more prolific figures where spend huge amounts of money on security. Tommy Robbins in the UK has to wear a bulletproof vest. Milo spends
Yeah.
$500,000 on security.
Yes,
It's
it's
not the
insane.
safest occupation. Yeah,
And Tommy Robinson I actually really like. I've watched a couple of his videos on the Rebel, and he does a great job as a journalist in general because he does actually show journalism, and he actually risks a lot in order to get the word out and the truth out as well. And I think he kind of reminds me of Thomas Sowell because he doesn't let his own opinions get in the way of the actual truth. And he does a really great job of that. So I think he as someone, as an entertainer, as a reporter, as a news anchor, that's someone who I'm actually very who I actually look up to in a sense of as a role model, as a journalist per se. I'm a commentator. Okay, I'm not a journalist. I actually know journalists. That's not what I do is not journalism in any way. But sometimes I do have to become a journalist, and I do have to learn how to get the truth out no matter what. And Tommy Robinson is very good at that, and I am I look up to that. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I want to talk about youth counterculture. Have you seen Paul Watson's video about this?
Who?
Paul
Paul
Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I love Paul Joseph Watson. He talks about conservatism being the new counterculture almost all the time. He made merch about it because it pissed off liberals so much. And going back to if you don't piss them off, you're not doing a good enough job. He right there, he pissed them off so much because they know it's true. Liberals are so pissed off that conservatism is a new counterculture. They are so pissed off because they are losing. It wasn't even him. It was just what he said. And he did it so well. Just in like what, 4 or 5 words. He's starting something incredible. And also conservatism is now a new definition. It is a new ideology pretty much. It is completely rebranded and refreshed, and I'm so happy that it is because it's conservatism. You would probably think a conservative is someone like Steve Bannon or someone like I don't know. Let me think. And Coulter maybe.
yeah,
That's not what conservatism is to the youth anymore. Conservatism is now, at the at the bottom right, which is liberty, freedom of speech. I mean, conservatives, authoritarian conservatives obviously believe in freedom of speech, but it's also the right to marry whoever you want. opposing the death penalty. That's now conservatism. And now now extreme constitutionalism is now conservatism as well. And I think that has to do with the youth. The youth is now waking up to the words of liberty, but they want to keep the old social values that they have. And I think that that's why conservatism is now becoming the new counterculture. And the first speech of my tour, which is tomorrow, Liberty is Lit Again, Freedom in Our Counterculture. I'm going to talk about, in many different ways, has there been, like a bunch of times where conservatism wasn't seen as, being, freedom and liberty and freedom of speech. That, like, people actually went away from that in the conservative movement. But today, people now are want to have the name conservative because conservative is just cool. Like, it's a cool name in general. But they also want to stick to their own values as a person, not in law, but as an actual fucking person. So I think that's why conservatism has rebranded itself, and I think the youth and the elderly have had a lot to do with that. People like Ron Paul and Rand and Ben Shapiro and Paul Joseph Watson. Those people aren't the elderly, but people who are just older in general.
Yeah.
Than most millennials.
So, would you say this is having an effect on, Gen Z, your generation?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Would you say that your generation is becoming more right wing? They're going to be the ones to rebel.
Rebel, like as an actual resistance against the government.
No, no.
No, but to rebel against the left wing, extreme propaganda that's coming from leftists, the left, the mainstream left. Yes, I think that our generation is going to be the ones responsible for carrying the words of liberty. And I think that this is something really special that's going on because more and more people are waking up, and not only are they waking up to just right wing stuff, but they're also waking up to actually listening, actually what works and what doesn't. They are now realizing that they don't have to go one way or another. They can believe in something. Like you can be for a somewhat high tax on the rich, but you can still be right wing. Like, people are realizing that they can be pragmatic. They can listen to another point and actually agree with it sometimes, and not have to be like, oh, well, I agree with that, but I'm right wing, so I can't. That it doesn't work like that. You can be for the death penalty and still be libertarian. And I'm against the death penalty, but it's true. There's so many different beliefs that you can have and views, and you don't have to go one way or another. And they're waking up to actually find out that you can, actually experiment things and see what works, and not have to, listen to. There was a funny video that I watched where it said there are, in politics there are dumb people and smart people, and then only rich people can change things. So the rich people hire smart people, hire the fake smart people to say stuff that they like. And I thought it was funny because you don't have to listen to the fake smart people in order to actually have an opinion. You can make your own. And and not only that, not only can you make your own, but you can listen to other people. You don't always have to, be in your own comfort zone, in your own echo chamber. And I think that goes from the right to the left.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to discuss the meme war as well.
Yeah. the meme war has been part of the reason why our youth has been, converting to libertarians in principle, non-party. Well, some in party, some in principle, most in principle. That we are now using what the older generation thought that they can get to us through the old ways, TV, listening to the newspaper, listening to a pundit on the radio. That's not the case anymore. To really get to us, you have to use what we like. And as much as I hate saying it, music has been really good with that. Celebrities have been really good with that. A lot of people are getting their opinions from celebrities who don't know anything. As much as I hate that, it's true. But another thing, the way that they get to us through to get us to the words of liberty, through memes, through ironic, it used to be political cartoons, but now it's actual memes. Like it's actual, edgy stuff that you find on your phone that makes you laugh for like 3 seconds, but it actually makes you think. It does. And I think that's one of the reasons why the counterculture, the youth's counterculture and conservatism has been so big. It's because we've been the ones who can actually take a joke. We've been the ones who can actually turn something funny and not have to, be so serious. And, I've been really clear about, being as much goofy as you can be intellectual. And that's why I'm called politics' favorite goofball, which I didn't come up with by myself. Okay. Didn't come up with by myself. But that's why one of my nicknames is politics' favorite goofball, because you need to be, a certain part of our heart needs to have fun with what we say in order to make sense with it. And I think that we should all come together in order to actually, build a movement by making fun of things that are completely ironic and using irony and laughing it off.
Yeah. I'd say it also goes down to there are no left-wing meme accounts that are big. There's
there are. They're just not really good.
They're not super common.
Yeah, they don't really get to you because leftists aren't good at being ironic. Mostly because a lot of their views are ironic. a lot of the authoritarian left is ironic. But I think that they can't make fun of us, because I can make fun of a conservative, I can make fun of a libertarian easy, but they can, and I think they can't because they don't know how to, because they've been so filled with, you can't have fun, you can't do this or that because you might hurt someone's feelings. Well, I say fuck them. Fuck that. Who gives a shit about someone's feelings? It's feelings. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna be a douchebag, all right? Being a douchebag sucks. And yeah, do sometimes in my own life, do I have feelings? Yeah. Is it okay to have feelings? Yeah. Is it okay when someone says fuck you to feel bad? Yeah. But do I let that get in the way of having a good time and my own views? Do I let that get in the way? No. So that's why that's why I think that the left can't win the meme war. It's impossible for them because like what's happening now with meme war 2, the CNN, they couldn't let a 15-year-old make a gif of the Trump wrestling CNN and win. They had to go ahead and spread through all of their little media propaganda, artists that Trump was calling out for violence against the media. No! After that, they went ahead and threatened a 15-year-old that they were going to dox him if he didn't apologize. Uh, so now all of us came together and started making so many memes of CNN that they are starting to go down. And I think that they need to that the left needs to realize that you need to just have a joke.
Yeah.
But they can't do that. They can't. They can't. Because if you keep on worrying about how others feel, just because of what you say, nothing that you say can have any sort of effect. You can't, nothing at all. If you have to make sure that everyone else is completely okay with what you said, that is something important that you said, then you can't change anything. And I think that that's the biggest problem with our generation.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's sort of an example where sort of meme alt right, you know, the
Yeah,
people on 4chan and whatnot.
yeah.
There's the alt left, but they're not as big, nowhere near as big.
And
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the alt right. I mean,
yeah,
the
I'm
alt
not.
right has taken a very general, term. Like people will call me alt right. I
Yeah,
I don't know how, but I don't know how I can be alt right. I am a Latino from a middle class family who who has a bisexual girlfriend. I don't I don't know how in any way I can be alt right and be this, very authoritarian figure, and you'd be like, okay, like be against human rights. Okay, as a meme, am I against human rights as a freaking meme or a comment to piss people off? Yeah. I literally say that sometimes just to show that one comment can make a huge deal to these people. And I think uh that the left could have had something with the alt-right. Okay, they could have been like, yeah, the alt-right sucks, you shouldn't listen to them, and more people probably would have listened to the left. But they had to go ahead and call people like a transgender YouTuber Miss Blair White
yeah.
alt-right and a Nazi.
I think they don't understand it. It's they see someone young with some right wing opinions, and they think alt right straight away. They write them off as that.
Even
Yeah,
no, and some right wing people too, and some very 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 centrist right wing people will be calling everything all right as well. I've been called by some accounts alt right, um, and I think that that's ridiculous. Like I don't know how minority or how how libertarian you have to be. Like you have to be an ANCAP in order to not be called alt right.
yeah.
And when you are an ANCAP, do you know what happens? They immediately think that you're a Hopian and you're Pinochet. That you want to physically remove all leftists. So you can't. That's why I stopped listening to the left in general, and what they say about me, because and what other people say about me, because it doesn't if once they say you're all right, that it doesn't matter what you believe, and it doesn't matter who you are as a person. You are a Nazi sympathizer, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree. It's just absurd what they do now. You just you think, how can these people not see what's right in front of their eyes? And that's the same on
Well,
a few issues.
sometimes they're just pretty ignorant. They want to, because and I have to go back to why they're losing, and I'm going to bring this up in my first event tomorrow that they're losing, and it pisses them off so much that they have to, that everyone else is a Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah.
And everyone else is terrible to them, and it really pisses me off. But it is what it is, and we're winning, so it doesn't matter. And to me, we're winning, and
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter because
Yeah,
we're winning.
I'd say at the moment, yeah, you are. I'm only a bit older than you, but yeah, you're winning. But the thing is, though, my concern is university.
Yeah,
Because once you go there, they are hotbeds for Antifa
you really
radicalization.
have to. You really, and that's why I'm going to do some work on my tour with Young Americans for Liberty and Young Americans Foundation, who work on these campuses, because I think that to really, without these organizations, to be a conservative on campus, you really have to go in with a very opinionated, because these people will try so hard to indoctrinate you and will make you a living scarecrow in a field of birds, because of one, maybe like one view that you have, maybe two or three, maybe just your whole views in general. It doesn't matter. Anything that doesn't go with their perfectly fit ideology, they will hurt. They will try and hurt you as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I think that that's wrong. And sometimes the right will do that as well. And I think that's wrong. Like, as much as politics is important, and how much liberty is important for our day-to-day lives, it's just politics.
Yeah.
It's just politics. It's not the end of the world. As long as we stay true to our values of freedom of speech, of freedom of religion, our basic American principles, we'll be okay. The world will be okay. But that's the thing. Once we go back on our principles of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom to be a human being and not have to go with the totalitarian state and just do whatever you want to do with your life, that's when politics becomes extremely important. And that's when I get involved heavily. That's when I say it's no longer politics. It's about choosing how people live their lives.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. That's wrong. That's lie. And you're from the UK, so I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you understand, but I don't expect you to fully understand the American values, and that's why anyone who comes here will realize the mess we're in, because we have set up the best government in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
With the best constitution. And people are freaking out because of race, of gender, and all these stupid issues. We have set up the Muhammad Ali of constitutions, the Babe Ruth of constitutions, the Michael Jordan of constitutions. And yet, when people come here, they're like, you have this. And, you're complaining about race. Like, in the UK, race isn't that big of a deal. And so isn't gender, that stuff. Over here it is. And people are freaking out. As long as we stay true to our principles, be gay, have your weed, smoke a blunt, praise Jesus, praise Muhammad, just don't tell people how to live their lives, and don't be an asshole. And it's that simple.
As long as you're not affecting anyone else, do what the fuck you want. Smoke weed. I don't smoke it. I don't know anyone who smokes it. Whether it hurts you or not, it's your choice. You can kill yourself if you want.
Well, I don't. That was a little bit. don't know about killing yourself. That's
Oh no,
that's an
yeah.
issue that I've really had to look over for a whole lot, and I still haven't made a decision. Because by definition, it is murder.
Yeah. Oh
By
no, no.
definition, 'cause-
What I meant was, if you want to smoke weed, and whether or not it hurts you or not,
oh,
yeah,
oh,
that
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you
Okay,
know,
okay.
which kills
I thought
and
you
you
were talking
know
about
who you
actually
want.
killing yourself. I was
Yeah, no,
like,
no.
let's not get carried away.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'd. What do you want to talk about from here?
I just want to talk to you about your tour. Do you want to tell us about
Oh,
that?
yeah. So my tour is called the Mind of a Political Teenager tour. It is supposed to be all over Florida and hopefully in other states in the U.S. You can check my GoFundMe out. Help the Mind of a Political Teenager tour on GoFundMe. And it's supposed to be a tour where the youth and actually the youth, not people who are 18 or 25, actual youth, okay, like 10-year-olds to 18, 16-year-olds can come to my tour, as much as adults as well can come to my tour, come to my speeches, and listen to a kid who can tell you what is wrong with our current society for my generation
Yeah,
and why it's a problem, why we need to each other, and why we need to actually listen to our kids, because sometimes I think that kids have the best ideas in the world. That's true.
yeah,
Sometimes I think that the youth can come up with incredible ideas, but you guys need to give them a chance. And it's also about spreading, the true American values with the true American values while being as goofy as possible. I want to be as as pragmatic as I am ignorant. I want to be as intellectual as I am stupid. I want to be as funny as I am serious. I want to have a tour where you get everything you want, but you really get the truth. And I
yeah,
think that we need someone my age to say what I'm saying. And if I don't do it, no one else does.
yeah,
So that's pretty much what my tour is going to be like. And it starts tomorrow, and
yeah,
I'm really excited. It starts at the Libertarian Party meeting of July. Libertarian Party of Miami, not the actual
yeah.
Libertarian Party. That would be really impressive. But yeah, I'm also the first state that we're going to outside of Florida, hopefully will be California.
Yeah.
If I can raise the money, I need at least $750 to go to California, and we have raised like 140.
Yeah.
So we're pretty close. But it's gonna be rough. But
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to do it, because I have a couple fans in Southern California that want to see me. And I don't know. I'll hopefully, when the tour starts, it'll start picking up some heat, and people will be able to donate whatever you can. And people have been telling me, Adrian, don't let anyone donate to this guy. Don't to this kid. You don't let him fix up his ego. Honestly, I'm not asking for thousands of dollars. The goal is $7,500 on the GoFundMe, but I'm not asking anyone to give like $100, $200. I'm asking for whatever you can
Yeah.
to let me give me a platform to speak on.
Yeah.
I'm asking for $2-3 to donate and help an actual movement. Because I have an Empire state of mind. If you meet anyone that knows me, they'll tell you when Adrian gets into something. He wants to make an empire. He wants to start something for everyone. I'm starting something for everyone, and I think that's gonna be huge. It's gonna be lit, and we've gotten a lot of support on this, and it's only a matter of time until I catch my first break. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Gonna,
One last topic.
what?
One last topic.
Yeah.
Because you're still at school, or I'm guessing you're still at
Yeah.
school. Have you experienced any challenging from teachers or any experiences, similar to what
Well,
universities have?
I go to a Catholic school, so none of the teachers are really really hate me. There are a few liberal teachers that really wanted to challenge me in front of the class, but I chose not to because I didn't want to make a big fuss. I would like to debate one of my teachers though. That would be amazing.
Oh, I've done it.
But I have received a lot of, I have lost friends. I have lost friends because of what I'm doing, just because of my views. That's it. Just because I haven't even told my girlfriend about all this. I don't see her until the end of summer, so I haven't really gotten the chance. But I haven't even told my girlfriend because I'm just, I've lost friends. There are people who just because I'm pro-choice or pro-life will get on my case because I believe a human is a human in conception.
Yeah.
That's it. And people will really, really detest me just because of that. Girls, I have been turned down by girls. They've been like, Adrian, you're a really cool guy and all, but you're pro-life, or you believe this and that, and I can't date someone like that. I think that's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That you meet someone, you really like them, but just because they have one opinion, you'll automatically rule this guy out, and that's when as a person you can't hang out with someone like that. I will never hang out with someone who believes politics is more important than being a freaking good human being. Yeah. I will never hang out with anyone like that. I have communist friends. It's people. Okay, politics isn't everything. Is it fun? Sure. Is it important? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not everything. So people really need to stop acting like it's the biggest deal in the world. And I think that, that's what this generation has to do most importantly, is realize that this is life. Sometimes things are going to happen. Sometimes you're going to get a bad senator. Sometimes you're going to get a bad president you don't agree with.
Yeah.
But it's just politics. It's not your life. Politics is maybe that much of your life. Yeah. And this whole room probably is your life. There's so much. What?
Unless you're a politician. Then it is
maybe it's like this much. Maybe it's like this much, maybe. But there's so much more to life.
Yeah.
Than just politics, So that's why I hope this tour will also go well, because I'm going to be talking to kids as well, and I'm going to tell them that believe anything that makes sense to you. But you have to make sure you challenge yourself and that you realize that this is just politics. It's not your life. Yeah. To some people it is, and I can't hang out with those people. I honestly can't. They're the worst people to be around, because that's, first of all, it's all they ever talk about. People sometimes make fun of me because that's all I ever talk about. I really hate getting into political conversations. But yeah, it's lit.
Yeah.
Liberty is lit again.
Yeah.
And make sure to check my tour out. Every speech will be live streamed to my channel and to the Castle Conservative Media website. That's the new website that I will be working for. I will be an anchor for them. and I will once the new website gets launched. It's gonna be lit. Liberty's lit again. And James, thanks for having me, man.
That's all
It's
right.
been a blast.
All right. Good talking to you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.